Okay, so I just pulled up my channel right now, and I'm looking at my old videos. And the first ever video I released was on June 6th, 2022. And it's just crazy looking at this right now, because that's almost been like 3 years ago. It's crazy that I've started this whole thing like 3 years ago. It doesn't really feel like that long ago. I remember that video. It was a trip video for when me and my grandpa went on a trip. It was our third trip that we've gone on. We started going on trips when COVID happened, and it was the first one I ended up filming. I had this little camera. It was a Canon Rebel T100. It was really shitty quality. It wasn't good at all. But hey, it got me through. I filmed everything. It was really fun. We went to the Grand Canyon that one, and we went to Sedona. It was a great trip, and it was awesome just being able to film it. I didn't really know what I was doing, which probably even made it more fun. I guess the reason I'm kind of going back and like looking at old videos is because I wanted to kind of remember like why I started doing this in the first place and why I wanted to create a video. I remember like being super inspired by some YouTubers and like watching their videos and being like, I want to do that. You know, I love traveling. I love doing all these things. And, you know, I feel like I've always had a calling to do something creative. And so these videos were an outlet for me to do that. I think creating for me has always been more than just making something for fun. Before I started making videos, I liked to draw. And even though most of these suck, I, for the most part, really enjoyed it. When I first started thinking about making a video about why I started creating, I didn't really know what I was going to do with it or what I was even going to talk about. So right now I'm looking at my notes page, and I'm trying to kind of do a video, I guess, about like why I started making YouTube videos. And I didn't really, I mean, like, I know why I started making YouTube videos, but I'm not really sure, I guess, why I started wanting to do videos and wanting to do content like this and wanting to create in the first place. So I've just been kind of thinking about how I want to start this video and how I want to make this, because I don't really know. I mean, like, obviously I wanted to do it because I saw other people do it and I thought it was cool, but I don't really know why I started creating. I've always just felt like it's what I was meant to do. And this constant battle between creating for others and creating for myself has been really overwhelming. Well, hey guys, welcome to my tent, fort, whatever you want to call it. Welcome. I'm sure, as you guys can see, I have built a pretty flammable and definitely not fire-safe tent for the sake of this video. Was it definitely just an excuse to make a tent in the first place? Yes, but is it awesome? Yes. So the reason I kind of made a tent in the first place is because I kind of wanted to live through my childhood again. Forts were like a really big part of like my childhood, and the reason I'm trying to like relive my childhood, I guess, or like just kind of explore some of the things that I remember from my childhood is because that's when I felt the most creative. I didn't really have an idea of where this video was gonna go or what exactly I was gonna talk about in this video, because when I was trying to think of why I started creating, I really didn't have an answer. It's just always been something I've done, and it's always been something I've enjoyed. And so it's never been something I've like thought about. But now that I think about it with a little bit more perspective, now that I'm like older and everything, I think I started creating because I love making something that I'm proud of, or just like making something. I love putting something I made out into the world and getting perception on it. And it's always been something I've enjoyed, obviously, now that I have a YouTube channel. And I think for the past 2 years, YouTube has been my outlet for creativity more than anything else. I used to do a lot of drawing when I was younger, and so that was my outlet of creativity back then. And that was the thing that really sparked what I love to do now. And so I want to go through and look at some of my old drawings in a bit. But yeah, I think creativity has always been a part of my life, and now more than ever with YouTube, I have an outlet for it. I think the problem I've faced with creating stuff in general my whole life has been that creating has always, for the most part, felt like something I need to do for other people. And now that I've really looked at the question on why I started creating for myself because I enjoyed it. And then eventually that morphed into creating for other people because that's what I was told to do, you know? Like, even in school and for other things, it's like, everything that you do isn't for yourself. It's not because you enjoy it. It's because that what you have to offer is something that someone else can enjoy. It's something that someone else can enjoy. And I think that takes a lot of fun out of creating when you're creating for a goal or you're creating to perfectionism. For example, like I remember art was one of those things I loved to do, but the more it had to become perfect and the more I had to create something that was spectacular every time, the less fun it became. And the more it made me not want to do art, because I realized that when I have to do art, it's such a high pressure and it's so exhausting to do that. And so it made it not fun anymore. And I guess that's kind of what I've been going through with YouTube right now. And that's why I wanted to make this video more than anything, is just to kind of remember why I started creating in the first place for any reason, whether it be art when I was younger or YouTube now, is that I want to make these videos for myself. Obviously, I want to make these videos for other people to see, and I want to make these videos so that everyone that I can possibly hope that it reaches sees this, but I need to remember that like I'm making these videos for myself too, and that I love doing this. Like I started YouTube for a reason. I love making YouTube videos, and I hate having the pressure of making something because I feel like I need to have it done by a certain time or whatever. But the problem I've really been facing right now is trying to find the balance between doing something that I love, but doing it as work as well. Because YouTube, I love it, and it's something that if I really take the time and I don't have any time constraints or anything keeping me away from just making the best video possible, then it's absolutely amazing, and I have no problem with it. But to make a career out of this and to make this something that I can turn into my job and to get something self-sustaining out of my channel, which is what I want to do, because in the long term I want to do this forever, and so that means that I have to make some sacrifices with my content. And so what I've been struggling with is finding the balance between creating something that I'm proud of and creating something that is achievable in a short amount of time so I can grow my channel. That's what I've been struggling with the most. And so it's been really interesting trying to figure out how and what I'm gonna make in 2 weeks, or hopefully a week, putting a video out every week, but I'm telling you right now, that's probably not gonna happen. So every 2 weeks is like my goal right now, to put out a video. And compared to the last 2 years I've been on YouTube, that has never been done. I wanna have more of a scheduled time for my videos because I wanna get something out of this. I wanna make this a channel that I can have work from and that I can meet other people from. And I can't do that right now. And so I know I need to make the sacrifice of a little bit of quality so that I can have some quantity. I don't know what the next couple months of YouTube are gonna look like for me. If my videos are gonna absolutely suck, I apologize. It's just trying to figure all that out. And so I think going back and digging through why I started doing this in the first place will hopefully help ground me and let me have a little bit more fun with this and just be a little bit less hard on myself for the videos if I'm not the most proud of them, or maybe if they suck, because I'm creating to have fun. I'm creating to do it for myself. And so I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't have an ending for this video, but the main thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you to everyone that's been here for me and everyone that's stuck it out through this channel thick and thin. You guys are the people that make me want to create and do this for a living, and so thank you.